Hello and welcome to AGB Art. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to do a Dutch pour acrylic painting. If you enjoy the video, please press like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be using two 12-inch square canvases, one of which is a paint over. I've put today's date on the back so that I'll know in 3 or 4 weeks the paintings are ready to be sealed. I'm using these large push pins to keep the canvases up off of the table. I have this inexpensive level to be sure my canvases are level. Here are the colors that I'm planning to use in my painting. This is a champagne metallic that I use. I'm showing you the gold, but I don't use it. The copper was requested in the paintings. This is a brown, another lighter brown I don't use. This is Van Dyke brown that I do use. I'm using a different kind of base paint today. This is Base C untinted Valspar from Lowe's. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It has a grayish tint and it's very thick. My base paint recipe is 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol. This is the Floetrol that I use. In today's video, I'm going to use a cell activator of Amsterdam's titanium white and water alone. I'm ready to pour the base paint on my 2 canvases. And I'm noticing as I'm pouring that my base paint is very thick. I'm going to spread the base paint with my hair dryer, and you'll see throughout the video I add more and more base paint to this one that I'm blowing now because it's really difficult to cover that turquoisey green. Just a little trick that I learned. I keep my base paint in a red solo cup. All of my colors are mixed in a clear cup. That way I know what is my base paint if I'm using a color that is also white, which I did plan to do using the Amsterdam titanium white. It just keeps it separate so I know which is the titanium white and which is the base paint. After I feel like the paint has been spread on the canvases, I take my butane torch and lightly go over both canvases, popping any air bubbles that I might see. And next I take my gloved finger or ungloved finger and make sure the sides are done. And here I'm just popping some larger bubbles and spreading a little bit with my hand. It's okay that the paint looks a little rippled. It will self-level. And remember, I'm adding colors, and there's going to be much more blow drying on top of the canvases, so it's all going to blow flat. I'm ready to start with my colors. And I like to layer my colors from dark to light. You'll see I'm using a dark color now, and I'm going to grab the champagne metallic and add that. I don't necessarily put the paint on top of each other. It just sort of is in and out of the different colors. And I'm looking for a diagonal line. The person I'm painting this for wanted to see a specific flow of the paintings. They're planning on hanging them next to each other, so they want to see continuity in the composition. The last color that I'll add to the painting is the Amsterdam Titanium White, which I've realized is a little thick, so I'm adding water to it. I'm going to drizzle some of the white on top of the colors and also on either side of the colors. But I see as I'm drizzling it, the paint is still very thick. I'm using my torch now to see if I can get any cells to pop. And this is where I'm realizing that that white paint is very thick. So I'm going to take my metal palette knife and just spread it lightly. This is almost like a swipe technique. I'm just trying to spread the paint and hoping to see some cells. I'm picking up a little more of the base paint and adding it to the canvas. Here I'm having to mix up a little more. A little Floetrol in there, some water. And I'm pretty disgusted that my base paint didn't cover the used painting, so I'm adding a bit more to the canvas. And now I've got the Amsterdam Titanium White, and I really should have a whole lot more of it to put on either side of the colors. The idea is to use your blow dryer and blow that titanium white over the colors, as I'm doing right here. That creates a chemical reaction, and that's how you get cells. But because my titanium white was really thick, it didn't exactly work that way. And I'm ready to blow those colors out. Look at how that paint spreads. I absolutely love the design in the upper right. It's gorgeous. And you'll see for the rest of the video, I really don't touch it. Here I'm adding more white base paint, still trying to cover up that green turquoise color. And then I blow a little bit of colors into where I'm adding. I don't like that corner. I really don't like that lower left corner. I'm torching and bringing up a couple cells, and now I'm using the drinking straw to blow out and see if I can try to get some more cells in that lower left corner. I'm also using my mouth. You'll find when you experiment with blowing, you get a completely different look with the straw than you do with your mouth. And sometimes when you blow with your mouth, you bring up more colors under the paint. Here I'm using the palette knife to just sort of spread some paint and make a few tendrils. so that border between the colored paint and the base paint doesn't look so boring. I'm still not sure what to do with that lower left corner, so I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to take the copper metallic and add it throughout the painting. I feel like it was a little lost when I used the blow dryer. I'm taking the palette knife and just spreading the paint a little bit, and then the torch, and now the straw. The straw is more directed airflow, and I like it if I put a line of paint into a painting. I like to use the straw to make it more organic looking, rather than somebody took a stripe of paint and put it through the painting. I'm cleaning off my palette knife and dipping it directly into the Van Dyke brown so that I can add a dark contrast to parts of the painting. I really love this intense brown along with the copper on top of a white background. I really think the white, the brown, and the copper make this painting. Okay, we need to decide what to do with this corner, and I make the decision to scrape the paint off. I do that off camera, and now I'm going to add the white base to where I scraped and use my blow dryer to blow just a little bit of the color into the new white space. I'll use the side of my tongue depressor to add some of that Van Dyke brown into the new white space. I've decided I don't want to put a lot of color there, so I'm just spreading it, making it delicate with the straw. And now I've seen where there's not white base paint in some areas, so I'm just adding that, using my finger to make sure the white paint is covering the sides of the canvas. I continue to use the side of the popsicle stick just to add very thin lines of the dark brown paint. And then I torch again to find any residual air bubbles and to hopefully get more cells within the painting. I continue to do a little bit of touching up here and there with some blowing, but it gets to a point where you need to leave your painting alone. And I'm reminding myself of that as I'm doing a little blowing and torching and thinking, I believe we're about done with this. There's one last thing you need to do with your paintings. These drips must be removed, or they will pull the paint off of your painting. That's gravity. The paintings are complete. Here is an overview of both of them, as well as some close-ups. If you enjoyed my video, please press like and subscribe to my channel. Look at these gorgeous cells. I just love the lines of the dark brown paint as well as the copper. I think these colors are absolutely stunning. Thanks again for watching.